God is good, and with each day that passes brings us a day closer to the launch of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. If you're new to the Nathan NAPALM channel, please consider subscribing, especially if you're interested in Pantheon related news or content on our march to launch. Today, guys, is a big day because the December 2018 newsletter is out, and I want to talk about it. I want to do a rundown of mostly what's in it. I'm not going to cover every single detail. You can go check it out yourself at pantheonmmo.com if you'd like to read every juicy little detail. There's just a couple of things I absolutely have to touch on that's in this newsletter. Alright, first I'm going to start with that during the intro. I really love this. It says this: Visionary Realms count ourselves as very fortunate. While it would be easy to be green with envy over the big studios with seemingly unlimited budgets, we know that we have been given a rare and amazing gift. The ability to craft our game as we see fit, to adhere to our vision, to resist compromise, and to press ahead in creating the challenging, community-based world that is lacking in today's market. We've been given this gift by you, our amazing supporters, and we are truly honored and appreciative of it. And we know how precious it truly is. This is powerful because what they're going at here, what they're talking about, is they're trying to let us, the community, know that they realize that yes, it would be nice to be under a large publisher where the money flows, where they have this big budget to spend on the game, they have this big development team, they would be able to get things done so much faster because they're grinding away with a small team and they're accomplishing a lot for what they got. But they know how far they would be if they only had the amount of budget and money as well as a backing of a crew, a full development crew, because they're doing this from scratch and they're making sure that they're not overstretching the budget that they have. Because if you don't know already, Pantheon is fully funded with what they have. So when they're looking for additional funding like they did recently, that's because they're trying to bring in new people, and to bring in new people they need additional funding to pay for their salaries and for their work. This is really nice to see that they've acknowledged that yes, it would be nice to have a big publisher, but that would compromise and that would alter our vision and what we're trying to do. And their boss, Visionary Realms' boss, is us. We are the boss. We're the backers, right? We are the investors. We are the monetary gain that's allowing them to make this game. So, all they have to do is make us happy, right? They don't have to worry about, of course we're pushing, hey, get it out, we want to play, come on, let's get to alpha, let's get to beta. And that's fine. But at the same time, we're not going to force them to release a game that is not ready. We're not going to force them to go ahead and release the game to start making money. We're not going to force them to start adding in pay-to-win aspects or a cash shop or anything like that. So, because we are the ones backing their vision. Their vision is what makes us happy to give our money in support of the game, to pre-order it, and to get these packages. So for everybody that has went ahead and pledged, I want to thank you. For if you're thinking about pledging, I want to go ahead and give you a little hint. Go ahead and do it, okay? Because here's why I say that. You don't have to get a big package. You can always upgrade later. But by throwing anything at this company, getting even the smallest package, what you're doing is you're saying, I support this game. You are voting with your dollar, okay? I'm not going to tell you what to do or anything like that. That's not what I'm all about. But I'm just saying, this is definitely, if you're interested in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, if you've been following it, if you're getting all juicy-mouthed about the game and can't wait to play it, then make sure you get your pledge in and go ahead and be an original backer, supporter, I should say, for this game. But let's move on to the next thing. So, then they go on to talk about that with their new November pledge drive that they did, they were able to raise enough to secure more talent, more people on the development team, as well as get some commission art lined up. Both of those are going to play an important part in the next phase of Pantheon's development. And they're going to talk about this next phase in a minute. But what's really cool about this is that they were able to get the funding they needed to hire some new people. And we're going to go more into detail on that. So let's look at that. Their team has expanded. They brought on a brand new lead animator. He'll be joining next week. He's got a lot of experience in animating. We don't have an official release of his name name or which MMOs he's worked on, but it does say he has a lot of experience in animating, leading animation teams and MMO-specific animations, so he's the right person for the job. And they're very excited to get him on the team, and they're going to be announcing a formal introduction soon. So we'll be looking forward to that, see who this guy is, what team they picked him up from, etc. Because there's a lot of talk, Daybreak's laying off people, or just already did. It could even get worse than that. We've got all these MMOs laying people off and things like that. So, they've got a lot of options. They can scoop up some of this talent, right? And bring them into a team like Pantheon or like Visionary Realms has set up, so that they're actually on a winning team, okay? Because it's this cycle that the MMOs have been stuck in, where they're all following the same basic treadmill pattern, is getting stale and old, and people are getting tired of it, and it's not going to hold up much longer. Okay, that's why we're starting to see video games or other MMOs go into classics phases of their game, so that they're trying to renew, they're trying to bring people back, because things are just getting out of control. So it's really nice that with all these layoffs and everything, the Visionary Realms kind of able to look around, scope the field, and scoop some of this talent up. That's wonderful. Now, not only did they bring on this animator, and by the way, that I'm very excited about getting an animator. I don't know who he is yet. I don't know what his past experience is in MMOs. I just know that he has some MMO-specific animation work that he's done in the past, and we need that, okay? The animation is the main thing when people are looking at the game, even now with the newest graphic update, and they say, oh my gosh, it looks like crap. Well, no, it doesn't. The game looks great. That's why in a still frame, it looks wonderful. It's the animation is what you're actually seeing. People see things in different ways, or they don't understand the development, but the animation is really all that's lacking. We'll get more into that in a minute, though. So it's really great that they brought that guy on. I'm very excited about that. That's going to make so big of an impact on the game when we see it next after pre-alpha 4, once this guy has been able to get his hands on it and play around and start getting some of these new animations in. Now also, they are bringing on another concept artist who will help with the rest of the art team and get new work into the development pipeline. So, and then they go on to say they've also got a new character artist, and they're still looking for more. So they apparently have the funding to continue hiring a few more things. So they're looking for a virtual effects artist, a web developer, and a position in development operations. So they've still got at least 3 other positions they're looking to fill. And like I said, they have a lot to choose from all the things going on in the MMO world right now, all the layoffs and everything. So this is great news, and I'm very excited about it. Now, as far as the concept artist, that's also very excited, because whoever this person is that they've hired on, or they're going to hire on, this is big, because you need a lot of concept art for an MMO, right? Exactly how certain areas are going to look, because we're going to check that out here in a second. Fairhell looks so much different than the other areas, right? Because they got different designs. They're new zones. They look different. They're not just taking the same trees from other zones and then just copy pasting them in here. They want everything to look unique. That's very important, or the game will get stale and old, and nothing about going to a new zone will be fun, right? Unless it has to have its own atmosphere, its own mechanics, its own everything. And with everything going into the PvE in this game, it's going to be very important that it fits the part, right? Because we have the acclimation, the weather system, and it's going to need a specific concept art for each zone to look good. Now, some of these zones are already in development, but you got to also figure the concept artist is going to be responsible for making design, right? We got the new character artist, so making new mobs, monsters, creatures, things like that, and getting all set up. And plus, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so sure that the reason we haven't seen the Dark Mirror yet in the game, or the Scar, is because they're not done with them yet. Yes, they released new pictures of the Scar a little while back. This is what they're going to go with, more of that style. But once again, I guarantee you, they haven't started building the 3D models, or if they have, they're so early they can be tweaked and changed easily. because they know the Dark Mirror and the Scar are very unique looking, and they're not exactly sure exactly how they want to do it. So this character artist will be great to get that in the works, to look good, to work good for the game they want to create, etc. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is they talk about a new build of Pantheon Rise of Fallen. This is very exciting. So they do go into, I'm not going to read it, I'll put it up on the screen so you can read it if you like, but basically what they're talking about here is that they're making a new build of the game. And when I say new build, that means it's going to change everything about the experience. So the systems, the animations, the models, the sounds, and the effects to make it up to par with a modern game. So after Pre-Alpha 4, which is soon, it's only got a few weeks left, they're going to flesh out all the concepts and the systems and everything and get them in place. So what we're looking at here is new things that haven't been in the pre-alpha build. Okay, so basically this is optimize the game. They're going to upgrade the graphics again, the models, everything. And this, guys, is where things are going to get interesting, okay? Because we've been seeing a slow progression from pre-alpha to pre-alpha. It's gotten better, it's gotten smoother, it's gotten more beautiful. It's, you know, they've upgraded the character models, etc. But now we're going to see, because they got more on the development team, because now the game is starting to come together. I know a lot of it, as you can see from the pictures, from the new pictures of the new zone, and for anybody who's playing in the pre-alpha, you know that the game is full of a lot of gray boxes, right? Where you can see, yes, there's going to be a house here, but it's a little generic. We haven't, you know, that's what they do. It's just a gray box because they haven't put all the textures on and built the actual model yet, right? So they have like a generic gray area there to just kind of represent what's going to go there so they can get their layout correctly, all right? So it's technically playable. You can technically check it out, you know what I mean, and kind of get a feel for how it's going to be, but you're not seeing it yet. So all these kind of things are going to come together, okay, and they're going to rebuild the game, and it's going, and basically what this is for, guys, is this is so they can get it ready for launch. Okay, that's what they're doing. It will be representative of the minimum caliber of the game they are targeting for launch. That's right there in the wording, not my words, their words. This is epic. So I believe them, okay? They haven't let us down so far, okay? When they say they're gonna do something, they do it, and it's always mind-blowing, right? They always go above and beyond what we expected. So I'm really excited to see, and it's going to be a while, guys. That's the bad news, okay? After Pre-Alpha 4 wraps up, they won't have a client out for the testers for some time, is all they say, because I don't think they know exactly how long it's going to take. They don't want to get anybody's expectations up or anything like that. But they do want us to expect a delay before the world opens to play again. However, once the world opens up again, they are very confident that we'll agree it will have been worth the wait. I swear, guys, we're probably going to be looking at this game being like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is a modern, beautiful MMO optimized so that you don't have to have the newest freaking graphics card to play. And that's something I got to talk about in this video, guys. And I just happen to have a little tidbit of information from Brad McQuaid. Now keep in mind that he's playing the game now when he's testing it and everything, or playing with other streamers, whatever the case may be. When he's in the game and he's playing it on the computer he's talking about in this comment, I want you to understand that the game isn't even optimized. So you got to understand, I'm not sure how much my viewers understand development and things like that, but when a game isn't optimized, it runs like garbage. If you ever had a new MMO, or you're doing early access in MMO and you have a really good rig, but it's running like crap, and you're looking at the graphics and you're like, this doesn't even make sense. You know, I ran games that looked a lot better than this, right? And it ran way smoother, 60 frames per second. I'm running this piece of crap at the lowest settings, and I'm getting like 2 frames per second sometimes, right? That's because the game isn't optimized yet. They haven't optimized it. I'm not going to get into specific details about what optimization means, but it basically, to put it simply, it just makes the game, all the elements and all the things the engine of the game is having to compute and take care of, it simplifies it. It puts everything together in packets that are easily read, and therefore you get better frame rates, the game runs smoother, etc. So keep that in mind when you're reading that Brad McQuaid straight up stated that he's running the game on a low you know, a lower end spec machine. So, and he has no problem. And also, it has always been their goal to have good modern graphics, but to still be playable with a mid-grade rig. Okay, so if you've got a higher end rig right now and you're worried because the game doesn't come out for 2 years, and you're like, oh my gosh, in 2 years, this crap will be outdated. If Pantheon's all you're worried about, right? I know some of you just got to get the best thing out there and keep your rig as, you know, perfect as possible and updated as possible, and that's a different story. We're talking about people who have a rig and they want to play Pantheon on this rig they have. Don't worry about it. If your computer has a decent graphics card, if it's, you know, if it can run any of these modern games, I would say this, and you know, I'm guessing here, of course, I'm just speaking in general. If you can run Guild Wars 2, if you can run, this would probably be even more taxing, if you can run Elder Scrolls Online, or if you can run Final Fantasy 14, then you're going to be fine. If you can play those games, if those games are playable, then I wouldn't worry about it. You're going to be fine, okay? And that's pretty much all, guys. I'm going to wrap this up because this video's definitely went on way longer than I wanted it to. But I hope you guys go check out the newsletter. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to give you some hope and make you excited for Pantheon all over again. That's what I'm all about. I want to keep you hyped and keep you juiced up with Pantheon-related content. And as usual, if you're not a subscriber to the Nathan NAPALM, please consider doing so. I really appreciate your support. I'm about to hit 2,000 subscribers. I'm only 5 away at the time of this recording, so please consider subscribing. I can use all the help I can get, and I hope to see you back for more videos, guys. And until next time, God bless and happy gaming.